Hello YouTube, Restitution here, and today we're going to bring you something brand new. The Galaxy S5, but this is just a booklet. You probably want to see the real thing. Boom! Here it is, already protected in an outer box with a black ice screen protector. But without further ado, let's give you an initial impression. Not really an unboxing because I got it yesterday, didn't get a chance to do a video, but an initial impression. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright guys, here we have the Galaxy S5 from Samsung, the latest and greatest, the next big thing as they say it. I got this guy yesterday and been playing with it pretty hardcore for the last 24 to 36 hours. So this is going to be an initial impression. Now, as we can see here, I have the fingerprint sensor set up. Now, normally it doesn't work super well for me because you have to have your orientation proper. But here we are. We have the gorgeous new, somewhat flatter version of TouchWiz. Let me just clear all this out right quick. There we are. The new flatter version of TouchWiz, which is really nice to look at. Really clean interface. You've got the new 16 megapixel camera in the back, the front-facing 2 megapixel camera here, and apparently an infrared sensor here. I'm not really sure what that's for exactly, but we can see that in the camera of the HTC One that I'm recording with. Couple initial impressions. One, I kind of feel like Samsung rushed this out a little bit because it's kind of disappointed, and I really don't want to say that about such a strong flagship device, especially one when I loved the S4, the S3, the S2 as much as I did. A couple things. The fingerprint sensor is just too small. It's really tough to get right, especially when you have to set it based on your orientation. So I actually had to sit there and set the fingerprint sensor to my thumb in this position, otherwise it didn't work. I also have it set up in this position and in this position. So I have 3 fingerprints already set up, and it doesn't work super well. And I had similar issues with the iPhone 5S. Maybe fingerprint sensors just don't like my greasy fingers, but I'm not really sure. Camera is the one thing that that Samsung really wanted to shine, and it does take a pretty nice photo. I think it is a little artifacted though, especially when we zoom in and we can see there's not, the Verizon logo is a little blurry. I mean, you could still see that it's Verizon, kind of, but it's not quite as clear as I would expect it to be, especially for such a nice camera. Now, the low light camera in a pitch black room really did not work. I think the HTC captures a better picture, and that's probably due to the ultra pixel. Now the trade-off is going to be the megapixel count itself. The 4 megapixel in the HTC One is not going to give you a great zoom-in factor, which is not going to be good for photos that you're taking far away. And that's where this 16 megapixel camera is really going to come in handy. Now I'm hoping there's just a few bugs here because it's not as crisp overall that I would like it to be. And when the Samsung rep comes in, I'm going to talk to him, ask him a few questions before I do my initial review. Another thing too, the battery life is draining rather quickly. Full charge usually lasts 13 hours, and if my phone will focus properly, there we are. 14 hours. I took it off the charger this morning. I'm already at 48%. That's kind of not very good. But it is what it is. I guess I can't really knock it. It is a super phone with a great big screen, a huge camera sensor, and a crazy fast 2.56 gigahertz quad-core processor. So all of that said, it's a nice phone. I think it just needs a little polish, and I'm really hoping that's something that will be updated when or corrected when the phone gets its first update. My magazine has been reworked to be very similar to Blink Feed, in case you saw on my HTC channel. It's not quite as user-friendly, but it is, in fact, there. Unlike Blink Feed, which just keeps scrolling, this you put on all of your content, and if I want to check at arts and culture, I click on it. It says no items, which is awesome, so let's refresh. Once it loads, which it should do a little bit more quickly, but it's embarrassing. Let's see. Let's try LinkedIn, see if that works. So now that you're here, you see something. Amazon smartphone with 3D display. HTC did that before, didn't quite work. Flip, and you flip between articles in this particular venue. So you pick the venue you want to see, and you can scroll through, unlike Blink Feed, which gives you everything all on one screen. So there's some pros and cons. I like Blink Feed's interface a little bit better. Some things that I do like, a lot of the software has been improved. It's not great. It's not a huge difference. I do like the heart rate monitor. So you just simply click. Oh, never mind. You just simply place your finger over the sensor right here. It turns on. Hopefully I'm not dying. .53 beats per minute, which is pretty good. That's actually better than I thought it was going to be. I have a pretty solid heart rate, apparently. But it's a nice feature. There is an app for that, so if you don't have the S5, you can just download heart rate monitor, and it works pretty well. I should probably do a comparison between the two. A couple things that they did change that I don't really like. One, the menu is kind of bubbly, and you can even set it to this grid view, which it's an aesthetic thing. It's not my aesthetic thing. But the big one, where's the menu button? They replaced the menu button with a recent applications button, and that's the one thing that I really loved about Samsung up until this point, was the hard menu button placement. So yes, it's not hard. I mean, really the only thing I use it for is menu, settings. I can just go drag down settings. It's the same number of gestures, but it does require two hands. Another thing that you might use it for would be to change settings in an application. So I'm not there. I have to find the three dots to go into settings to set speed dials and what have you. So overall, there's a lot of things that I really want to like about the Galaxy S5, but it's just not living up to the expectation that I was hoping for. So if you already have a Galaxy S4 and you were wondering about edging up to the Galaxy S5, if you can wait until an update comes in and maybe I change my mind, I would recommend that. If you have to get a new phone, take a look at the new HTC One, take a look at the LG G2, or if you can, just kind of wait until the Note 4 comes out or the G3. There's going to be a few other heavy hitters. But right now, I'm just kind of meh. That's my overall impression. So, this is Restitution here. Be sure to check back, subscribe. I will do an updated video of this once I have it for a few more days and can really kind of figure out what it is that I'm looking for in this phone and if it lives up to my expectations. I will be communicating with the Samsung account manager, who that's their job to teach me these things. So hopefully after a few things I can give you a more updated opinion. But until then, this is Restitution signing off. Be sure to check back, subscribe for more phone, application, and accessory reviews. Till next time, guys.